Today I am going to rescreen my exterior door, screen door insert. Now you could have a slider door or you could have regular window screens. They're all exactly the same. Here I'm pulling out the spline. It's just a flexible black line. It has all little ridges in it, so when you push it down in the groove, it actually has some grip. So here I am removing all that, and I'm going to reuse it because it didn't break, it's not brittle, and it seems like it's in decent shape. Here I am pulling out the old screen. And if it's in good shape, you could use it for something else, a section of it. But if it's no good and you don't have any use for it, just throw it in the trash. Now I know there's some wrinkles in my painter's top, which I will straighten out when I go to tighten up the thing. I'll keep on moving it around as I deem fit. That just has a little clip on each side. So basically when you go to open your door, people tend to push in the middle, and this helps your screen from getting wrecked. I went on a pick the other day to an old farmhouse, and this brand new roll was in their barn. They had a short one and they had a long one, and I didn't want to be greedy, so I just took the wider one because I knew that my screen door needed to be redone. So yeah, it was a freebie. Down in Goffstown, beautiful old farmhouse. So here I am laying out the screen, trimming it. Make sure you give yourself plenty of extra, because when you go to put the spline in, the screen will lift up and push down into the groove. So you want to have plenty of extra on both sides. You can trim it off when you're done. This is the spline, see the ridges? And here is the tool. They have different sizes. So I'm just going to take my time and push the spline in to the new screening. I'll work my way all the way around. Here I am testing out the side that I need. There are two different sizes of the spline rolling tool, and you want to make sure that it seats in there nicely. It has a concave edge on it, so it runs along the round part. Here's the tool here. So I picked out the side that I need. There's one that's really narrow and there's one that's really wide. And the wide one sometimes will, if it's too wide, it will actually cut the screening when you push down the spline. And obviously you don't want that. I did that years ago. I was so proud of myself. I started going around and the whole screen just, fell in. I'm like, oh, well, I had to cut a new piece. So lesson learned. Check out your spline rolling tool first into the groove to see if it's the right size. And like I've said, take your time working all the way around, and yeah, let's get it done. Here I am changing the blade from my razor blade. Make sure you have a bucket that you put your razor blades in and you cover it. You don't want to throw those in the trash. I know a lot of people do, but think of the trash man. Anyways, I have a blade that is in the handle. I will be putting it into the front. Be very, very careful. I always hold the back of my blade when I'm pushing it in, because if you push it in and you're holding it the wrong way, you'll slit your hand right open. Anyways, there's a tip. Now, that's what you need, a perfectly sharp tool. And when you go to trim it, keep on changing your blade. I know you might have made a few swipes, but you're pushing down on the metal. You will dull the blade immediately, and it will not trim nice and neat. So just take your time. Don't be cheap. Use a couple of razor blades. Okay, so I'm getting to the last corner here. When you're seating into the little bead, into the groove there, you want to go over it a couple of times so it's seated all the way to the bottom. And you have to be careful when you go over it a second time because the screening could be pushing in to the gap and you can cut the screen right off, obviously on the wrong side. So you don't want to do that. So make sure you're careful. You'll see I'll take my time going back and seating it. And then I'm going to start to trim when I'm done with this. Okay, I'm starting to trim here. Now, like I said, just be very careful. Do small sections at a time. Slow and steady wins the race. You don't want to have your other hand near the razor blade. I'm basically holding the screen with my left hand, and you can't really see at a good angle, but my right hand that's holding the knife is behind my left hand. I do not have my left hand behind my right hand because you will cut your hand, and yeah, we're not doing all that. So just be careful with the razor blade. Be very aware. When you go to start cutting, it could slip right out of your hand and just cut your other hand. So take your time. Go slow. All right, I've made it all the way around. This is the last spot I need to trim off. And then, like I said, you'll see me go around with the screwdriver, and I will push all the corners in. Now, of course, you want to check out your piece and maybe do a little celebratory dance. Give the old thumbs up. Yeah. Woo! All done. Looks great. Here she is, nice and taut. All ready for my front door to be open and have fresh air. If you guys like that screening video, hit that thumbs up button. Now I'm in the Manchester, New Hampshire area. If you need a new screen replaced or anything like that, let me know. You can always bring it to my shop and I can get it done real quick. All right, love you guys and have a blessed day.